I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Council of the Village of Chase held here, 826 Okanagan Avenue, and via Zoom on January 14th, 2025 at 4 p.m. When we get to the adoption of the agenda, there was a typo, should read January 14th, 2025. So I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll move that the agenda of January
Councilor
14th, 2025, regular meeting be adopted as presented.
Seconded by Councillor Connett. Any discussion? All in favor? That's carried. Yeah, that's good enough for me, you guys. If you're okay with just putting your hands up on Zoom.
Yeah.
If that's for you. Yeah. Number 3, adoption of the minutes of the December 10th meeting. Councillor Herman.
Yeah, I move that the minutes of the December 10th, 2024 meeting be adopted as presented.
Seconded by Councillor Connett. Any discussion? Discussion?
Yes, yeah, sorry, I just noticed that in the minutes, it's for that meeting, it said that it was Councillor Stevens that seconded the adjournment. But I wasn't at that meeting. It's just an innocent typo, and I just wanted to make note of that.
The December 10th?
Yeah, it is in the minutes. It's in the minutes of it's the December 17th special meeting
It
minutes.
said Councillor Torbaum seconded it.
I've got on page 5 of 50, maybe I'm on the wrong motion. My apologies.
Okay.
5.
Okay, so for the December 10th, you're okay?
Yes, my apologies.
Okay. So all in favor with adopting the December 10th?
That's an in-camera meeting that.
So that's carried. 3.2 minutes of the December 17th, 2024 special meeting. Need a motion to
So moved.
seconded. Hey, Councillor Stevens, you got a question? No?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that on page 5 of 50 of this week's agenda under number 13, for that December 17th special meeting, I was not in attendance. Therefore, I did not second the adjournment. It's an innocent mistake, and I just wanted to make note of that. Thank you.
And it's amazing how well I read these, because if you look at number 11 in camera on the same page, who moved the motions?
Good.
So staff will look into that. So we've noted number 11, when we went in camera, it doesn't state which councillor moved it. And Councillor Stevens, is when we adjourned it, he adjourned it and he wasn't here. Is that? Yes.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, could I recommend that council defeat this motion and staff will return these minutes to the next meeting?
Listen. Is that what you want? I mean, it's just two things.
Yeah, we need to check the record, so in order to get it right.
Okay. So staff's recommending we defeat the motion, but we'll vote on it. So all in favor? Get one. Opposed? What we're doing, Councillor Stevens, is we're gonna not do this. We're gonna send it back to staff. So we need a motion. What kind of motion do you need?
No, it's defeated.
Yeah, it's just defeated.
Defeated.
We'll just-
Defeat it?
Yeah,
You
And it's
just,
gonna be brought back to the next meeting. Councillor Stevens. Okay, that was fun.
Yeah. Works for me.
Okay, we're good now?
Yep.
Corporate policy, okay. Public hearings, none. Number 5, public input on current agenda items, and you have, we allow 15 minutes. So is there anybody here that wishes to speak on any item on this agenda? Name and address, please.
Brooke Hynock, 315 Lake Shore Drive, Chase, BC. Just wanted to come to the village and talk to you guys. Sean was good enough to send the plaza, and I'm here for the plaza, not the arena. Just with the thing that are going next door to us and about the parking issues, and just wanted to address if you guys have addressed it at any more of the parking that the REIT is looking for. And just wanted to let you know, the Chase Plaza parking lot belongs to Chase Plaza. That parking there is for our customers. And there's been some talk throughout the community via Grapevine or whatever that it's public parking. Well, it's not gonna be public parking. It belongs to the people and the people that own and operate the plaza. And I'm just here today just to reinforce that with you guys and let you know that because it's out there.
No,
And that's why we're
we
here.
were just like, we haven't had any consultation from any counselors or administration that's actually come and visited the plaza people, just to see what goes on there or what's happening, or if we have plans for what we're doing there, so, but we just thought we should be in the loop because we haven't been addressed any of it, so.
Yeah, and to answer on mine, everything's changed with this, no consultation with the zoning, right? No, all we've done is the zoning, there's gonna be lots of, I think when we get to that part. When we get to that part on the agenda, a bit more might be explained. And what's,
I think everybody, just me included, took it
Process.
for granted that, okay, yeah, you could park over there, and I apologize. Because I just took it, yeah, there's lots of parking over there, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And
Because
a lot of people have, yeah.
we do a
absolutely.
lot for the community, but it's usually based on stuff that comes to us every board, and just to assume that that's how it works there, like, that's really not how it works.
I just ask, have you seen the diagram, Brooke, on the parking at the arena?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think it's in here now, isn't it?
No.
Oh,
No, I don't. see
Sean,
it.
is it in the stuff that you sent me?
so,
No, it's not in here, no.
so this is just the question, but we'll follow up on that. We'll follow up with staff and ourselves on that issue. Is that, that's
yeah, it's,
your basic,
we just haven't seen or been visited by.
You got it there?
yeah, so nothing's,
Right there, that's it right there.
Oh, yes, I did, because I was at the open house.
Oh, okay,
Yep, no,
so I don't think that's gonna be an issue, having all that parking.
but we'll follow up with staff and whenever, because I think the corporate officer will. If we're gonna talk about that when we get there or not. So is there anything else from anybody in the public that you people?
I'm good.
Okay. Might as well hang around till, if you want to hang around till we get to that part on the agenda.
That's no,
Don't
appreciate
take
it.
long. Okay, thanks very much for coming. Staff reports are there, and mayor and council reports. My report, December 11th, I attended the Shuswap Watershed Committee meeting. This was the last meeting led by the CSRD. The committee will move ahead with the new structure. I also attended the Chase Secondary Appreciation Lunch, December 12th. TRHD meeting. So that's the hospital. Couple of things they talked about, the exam bays at the Royal Inland Hospital used to have curtains separating them. They now have walls which create more privacy and stop disease spread. I thought that was great. There currently is a 6-month wait to get into long-term care and less intolerable risk. And staff make attempts to get patient in right away. After that, I went to the TNRD regular meetings, and if anybody wants to know, all their meetings are online. December 13th, I attended the TNRD committee of the whole meeting. December 17th, Chase special meeting. December 18th, I represented Chase at the CPKC holiday train, along with MP Mel Arnold, MLA Ward Stamer, and Chief Irvin Wade from the Sconlith. December 21st, I attended the Legion AGM, and they now have identified 146 veteran graves in the Chase graveyard. January 4th, 2025, I attended the Art Holding Memorial Arena 25th anniversary celebrations and spoke on behalf of the village. And we have two of the people here that I thanked for all of their hard work, and smart work over the time. So thank you, Brooke and Linda, for your help and advice. January 8th, I attended the Festival Society meeting. It looks like the Tuesday night meetings are going ahead, and there's some discussion of having a separate corn stalk, which would be maybe in another location and a paying event. This in the discussion. January 9th, I attended the Chase and Area Family Services AGM, and that is just a brilliant group of, so far, it's Councillor Conick, you came as well. What a great group of people in Chase that I didn't know we had. January 14th, this morning, the CEO and myself met with Adams Lake Indian Band Chief and Council. The main purpose was to set up monthly meetings as we do with Nisquam. So, Councillor Conick.
December 17th council meeting and an in-camera meeting, and attended the Chase and Area Family Service meeting. And yeah, it's an unbelievable group of women in there that do a lot for the community. And that's my report.
Thank you, Councillor Herman.
Yes, December 10th, regular village council meeting. December 12th, attended the Christmas village get together. December 17th, a special meeting of council. January 1st, I attended the First Nations Skate Day held at the arena, which was a great day of skating and hockey and friendship between the three bands and the Chase community. Bernice, Jules, and Sean, Billy definitely get kudos for making that event happen every year. It's a big event. January 4th to 5th, 4th and 5th, I think it was the 3rd and 5th actually, celebration of the Art Holding Memorial Arena, which was great. And January 8th, I attended the Chase Festival Society meeting in regards to planning next year's lineup for entertainment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Stevens.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, over the last few weeks, I've met with staff and the mayor to discuss the previous year, some of the successes and challenges and ways forward for 2025. I had multiple meetings with members of the public related to all sorts of issues, good things. Yeah, one of the things that really stuck out for me in a few of those conversations was just how well kept and tidy the village is right now. It keeps coming up in conversation, and I just wanted to mention that. I also reviewed the Insurance Bureau of Canada's report on weather disasters for 2024. To no surprise, 2024 was the costliest year in Canadian history for related insured loss, coming in at $9.5 billion. And that report really hit home hard, or really hit hard today because of especially the recent disasters in the United States and the insured losses that we're seeing down there. It just really highlights the importance of communities being prepared for wildfire disaster and more specifically geared towards Canadian communities, but not relying on insurance to always be there. Also, last week, I attended Michael Henderson's FireSmart presentation at Creekside and took in some community activities over the holidays. Last, I wanted to congratulate Kelsey Snellgrove and the Chase Sunflower on 10 incredible years in publication. So, the Chase Sunflower is such an awesome paper and it really gets the information to the people. So congratulations on 10 great years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Stevens. Councillor Torbonne.
December 10th council meeting, December 17th special council meeting. December 18th, attend the festivities at the Holiday Train. And over and above that, to review agenda, meet with staff as required. Take inquiries from the public and monitor emails. That's my report.
Thank you. Does any of council have any questions on any of the staff reports? Seeing none, motion to accept the reports. Councillor Torbonne.
So moved.
Councillor Conick. Accept the reports.
Yeah.
All in favor? That's carried. Number 8, no unfinished business. New business 9.1, 2024 to 2028 amended budget bylaw report from the chief financial officer. So chief financial officer, do you have anything to add at this time?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just reiterate that this is a formality just to put through the final amendments through the year to file our financial plan as amended, so that we can move forward into 2025. But it picks up all of the changes that council has approved through the year. They're listed on page 12, and if you have any questions, just let me know.
Anybody on council have any questions to the CFO? Okay, there is a recommendation there. Someone want to make the recommendation? Councillor Stevens?
Yeah, I move that the Village of Chase 2024 to 2028 amended financial plan bylaw number 943-2024 be given first, second, and third readings.
I'll second that.
Councillor Herman?
Yeah.
Discussion? All in favor? That's carried. Zoning Amendment 909, Trans Canada Highway, report from the Director of Corporate Operations. Would you mind adding something, Director of Corporations, or do you have anything
Sure,
to add?
Mr. Mayor, this is an application for a zoning amendment on a piece of property up on Foothills Road. It's private property. It's currently zoned P2, which in our zoning bylaw is called public and quasi-public. And it doesn't allow commercial uses. However, council's official community plan has designated that same piece of land as general commercial. So the land use in the OCP and the zoning are incompatible. The owner of the property wishes to move forward with some commercial development. And in order for him to do that, he needs to have commercial as a commercial use as the appropriate zoning. So he's applied for commercial C3 general commercial.
And so what you're asking for now is just direction whether we want to proceed or not with you drafting the zoning bylaw, and you're going to bring it back with more information. Is that?
No, we have to do the motion.
Well, I'm just asking if
Yeah.
that's what he's asking.
That's correct. The recommendation is for council to accept the application and direct staff to proceed with a zoning amendment.
Okay. So there's a motion recommendation there. Does someone want to make? Councillor Corman?
That the application to rezone 909 Trans Canada Highway from P2 public and quasi-public use to C3 service commercial be accepted, and that administration be directed to proceed with drafting a zoning bylaw amendment.
Do we have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Councillor Stevens, any discussion? And everybody knows where we're talking about, where the sand pit is, piece of property.
Well, I believe that was basically used as commercial because the highway maintenance people. were-
There's salt,
What?
there's salt.
Yeah, they were using it anyway before it was sold.
Hmm.
So,
So that's the piece of property.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all in favor? That's carried. Mayor's appointments, council liaisons. So I've got a few things written down here. I did discuss last year, Councillor Connaught was not on the acting mayor list, so I asked Councillor Connaught if he wants to be added, and the answer was yes.
About my money.
So I just talked to the CFO, so we came up with a list of, and I'll pass this back, I know I already gave it to staff, but came up with a January to March will be Councillor Connaught will be acting mayor, so January to March. April to June will be Councillor Torbon, acting mayor. July through September will be Councillor Herman. And October to the end of December will be Councillor Stevens. So those are the acting mayor appointments. The liaison appointments, The Adams River Salmon Society, Councillor Herman expressed a wish to stay, but Councillor Stevens, you wouldn't mind doubling in with Councillor Herman on that, on the Adams River Salmon Society?
Yeah, thanks a lot for that opportunity. I think it'd be a great chance for me to some, I guess collaborate and meet some folks that I don't get a chance to meet with and communicate with often.
Okay, so on that one, we'll have Adams River Salmon Society, Councillor Jane Herman and Councillor Dan Stevens. Business Community and Chase Chamber of Commerce stays the same, Councillor Jane Herman. Chase and District Health Services Foundation stays the same with Councillor Jane Herman and Councillor Connett. Citizens on Patrol, Councillor Connett, you said you would do that one, okay? First Nations, that's me. RCMP Liaison, Councillor Torbon. Shuswap Regional Trail Strategy, Councillor Torbon. Municipal Insurance Association will be Councillor Dan Stevens and then myself as the alternate. The PNRD Regional Director and Alternate Director will stay the same as the Mayor and Alternate Director, Councillor Torbon. And assigning authorities stay the same. So on council, Mayor Lepso and Councillor Herman and staff, I'm assuming you guys are going to stay the same with the CAO, the corporate officer, and the CFO. Oh, and I had one more. We added a new one this year for the Rec Society. And Councillor Stevens, you expressed your wishes to be the liaison to the Rec Society.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Okay, so you can be the liaison to the Rec Society, so that is that. Staff get all of that, or enough of it? Okay. And we don't need and that's good for that corporate officer, we don't need motions or nothing. Okay, thank you. So 9.4, development permit 221 Shepherd Road. And I just asked the Director of Corporate Operations if he wants to add or say anything more. Top of his report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just quickly summarize to the best of my ability. It's quite a comprehensive report. It also includes a Schedule A to the development permit 2025-1. There's a number of drawings in there. But in a brief sort of summation, there's only one regulatory component of the council's official community plan. These are development permit areas. So by regulation, a development permit is required if the property falls into one of those areas. In this case, 221 Shepherd Road under this project falls into development permit area E, multifamily residential. And some of the criteria under those regulations in area E, multifamily residential, include landscaping, the form and character, massings and geometries, and that pertains to the building, colors, the parking surfacing, lighting, safety, electric vehicle charging spaces, bicycle rack provisions, screened refuse areas, or the garbage containers, recycling containers, screened rooftop appurtenances. And upon review of all the drawings that were submitted, staff feels that they've met all the requirements. And furthermore, there's some information on page 29 about the landscaping and specific parking in the building height. So a professional landscaping plan has been provided, and the total cost of the landscaping is $147,000, $728. And there's a requirement to bond for that, which is 120% of that amount. So that if the landscaping doesn't get installed as prescribed, then village has the monies in reserve that we can go in and install that landscaping plan. Under parking, there has been a relaxation in the number of stalls based on the clientele of that building, the number of vehicles. There's also information in the package about how the parking will be controlled and monitored. And so there seems to be sufficient controls in place. Finally, the building height was has been varied to allow a 15.5 meter building. This is to allow the building to go up because the original footprint was wider and it occupied more land use. So this was a more efficient space for all neighboring sort of everybody's it's just the better fit for everybody in the neighborhood. I guess there's one correction under financial implications. So there was a fee of $4,800 that was paid for this permit application. The development cost charges is closer to $75,000, not $6,000 as indicated there. And the recommendation is to approve the development permit subject to receipt of the landscaping security bond. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a recommendation and then we go to discussion of council who wishes to go that direction. Councilor Corbin?
I'll move that the Village of Chase renew it, or that the development permit DP 2025-1 be approved, subject to receipt of a landscaping security bond as per section 21.1.1 of the OCP bylaw.
We have a seconder for that one, Councilor Connaught. Now we go to discussion. Councilor Stevens.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know, when I'm looking through the report and everything, and and just like discussing with the rec society and things like that, and one of the things is like I understand the complications and the complexities and the legislation around not like the community discussion and everything leading up to a project like this. Yeah, I feel like there could have been avenues that could have been explored to actually just get a little bit of input and have more discussion with the rec society on the project in total. I know there was an idea that came up about parking and flex spaces and potentially maybe using those flex spaces for arena parking as well. I'm not too sure where that went, but I think in the project and how this has gone on and the difficulties from the actual legislation is that the rec society understands that the building is going in there, but there's got to be some way we can have a little bit of their input to just ensure like the building best fits for everybody. I know that they had a little bit of consultation. It wasn't a lot back in November, but I think they have a very good idea of what will work best down in that area. And I think that we being in a partner agreement with them, we kind of owe it to them. And I don't know what that looks like with the legislation or with the communication back and forth, but I feel like we just need to do a little bit more work with them on this project moving forward. But yeah, that's my discussion. Thank you for listening.
Okay, is there anybody else? So I did discuss that, we did discuss that briefly with staff today, and this is just one of the many functions. So the zoning, there is no discussion with the public anymore to do with zoning law, it's the official community. I'm watching the corporate officer. And that's created, so long as in the official community plan, it states that this can go in, there's no public discussion, and every community is having the same issue because it's such an abrupt change. So every community is now having that issue, whereas before there was so for the zoning, there's no discussion anymore. That's the province has mandated that. If we don't do it, they're just gonna do it. So that's created, it's maybe a year old, a little over a year old, but it's created issues everywhere. Today, we're just dealing with the property itself and the OCP, there's gonna be 3 or 4 other aspects which will probably allow the public and the rec society more input. We want to hear a bit more. Our hands were tied with the zoning, we're just not allowed to. Yeah, so there's 3 or 4 other components. I don't know if the corporate officer wants to mention anything at this time or.
I could, Mr. Mayor, I could just
Sure.
clarify what those three
Yeah, thank you.
last development processes are. And it was, that information was shared to everybody as part of the PowerPoint presentation from the zoning process. So it laid out sort of how, from start to finish, all the processes involved. So we're at the development permit process. We've done, the zoning is in place. The remaining processes are the subdivision process, and the subdivision involves everything, utilities, infrastructure, this is a land survey involved. There's covenants and everything. That's when all that will happen. And then following the subdivision, there'll be a lease agreement that will come before council with the terms of the lease. And then lastly, there's building permit. And just to remind council that council's development bylaw, or subdivision and development bylaw, they treat subdivision and building permit the same. So anytime there's a subdivision or a building permit, the requirements, particularly offsite requirements, come into play. Whether that be street lighting, sidewalks, upgrades to storm sewer, sanitary sewer, fire hydrants, anything that is related to proper development, they get captured during either the subdivision or the building permit. So in this case, we have 2 opportunities to capture anything for the common good of the municipality, of the citizens of that neighborhood. So. And we have our keen eye to making sure we get this right.
Thank you. Is there any other questions from council? Okay, Councilor Stevens.
I just wanted to make one more comment. I think it's really great that they've agreed to do some of the wildfire resiliency planting and things like that. We saw that directly, and we can see that when we turn on the news, that it's that coniferous fire hazard vegetation that's burning down structures down south. So I just think it's really great that we are moving in that direction with the development. So thanks a lot.
Any other discussion from council? See none, all in favor? That's carried unanimously. Ross is back on. 9.5 PNRD building inspection contract for services. Anything you wish to say on that, Director of Corporate Operations? I think it's pretty simple.
Nothing to add, Mr. Mayor. This is just a renewal with a small increase.
Anyone of Councilor Herman?
I move that the Village of Chase renew its building inspection services agreement with the TNRD for 2025, 26, and 27 at the new annual fee of $13,318.75.
We have a seconder, Councilor Stevens.
Yes, I'll second.
Okay, discussion. Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Notice of motion. Anybody have a notice of motion? Okay, seeing none. Number 11, there's no in camera. 12, no release of in-camera items. Need a motion to adjourn the meeting. Councilor Connett. Councilor Torbonne. All in favor? Ready, Jim? Meeting's canceled.